Welcome. Today we're going to do a quick setup of a Postgres database on Windows. Keyword being quick. So it's going to be pretty concise and pretty trimmed. But it's just a quick setup to get you going really quickly. And it's considering that you already have Postgres installed and you already know how to connect your database to a server. Okay. So first, let's get the Postgres server running. So you do sudo service PostgreSQL start, enter your password. Okay, psql, and I'm in. I can check my databases, \l. Here it is, ncs. Okay, now I'm gonna go to my files. Alright, so I have 3 SQL files. These SQL files contain pretty much the same code format that you would use for when you are making queries in the server, the Postgres server. Okay, so I have a file to create database, a file to create tables, and a file to insert the data. Okay, in the database file we have first drop database. That's equivalent to deleting a database. Then I have create database. Then I have to connect to that database. And then I have \i, which is going to run these files. So that's why it's very important to make sure that you open your Postgres server in your working directory. You have to open it. You have to open your Postgres server in your working directory because that's where your files are that the server is going to look for. Okay. And I am in my working directory. Right. So it says create in the database file, create database NCS. Okay. And the table file, also called the schema, it's create table. Okay. And I have 5 columns, right? A column called username, a column called password, etc. Then we have the constraints: varchar, primary key, constraint text, constraint not null, constraint check, constraint default. Okay, it's going to default to true or false or any value you specify. And check, this acts as a almost as a conditional statement. Okay, it checks to see if this value is greater than or equal to another value. All right. Position, this returns the position, which is a numerical value of this character inside of this column. So position returns a numerical value of a certain character in the column, and then checks to see if that value exists or not, pretty much over here. Okay, and make sure you have your semicolons at the end, right? Make sure you have your curved brackets. Okay, make sure your rows or your columns are separated by commas. And then we go to our seed file. So we have insert into niche users. This is the insert into table name. Okay, create table, niche users, insert into niche users. Here are my selected columns. So I gotta select the columns first. Then values come after. Here are my rows. Each row is separated by a comma, and don't forget your semicolon. Okay, so a database file, a schema file, and a seed file. So now we can go to the database. Okay, Postgres server, and so \I, and we're gonna enter the name of the file we want to run, which is gonna be -db.sql. Okay, semicolon. Okay, and there you are. It drops the database, then creates it, then it connects for us, then it creates a table, and it inserts data. So, okay, so now we are connected to the database. We can check the tables in there, schema, public name, see, niche users. So here is the database. Here is the table within that database. And now we're going to check to see the data inside of that table of that database. So select all, select star from niche users. Okay. And here's data inside of that table. And that is all. Again, it's very trimmed, very concise. It's really just to get a quick start and to get going really quickly. And yeah, that is all.